But racing is in a position of strength relative to so many other sports, and that's exactly how we started this programme.
Yeah.
And really exactly how we should end it, because if we're to continue and to continue safely, then we need an adequate supply of effective PPE, which has been provided to the BHA and to some of their key staff, key personnel who have kept race courses going by a company called CHB Medical, and their managing director, Felicity Griffith, is on the line now. Felicity, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for joining us. Just tell us how you've worked with the BHA to keep us all safe the last 7 weeks or so.
Yeah, sure. So basically, our background is import and export, and working with keyline frontline businesses, we've been bringing PPE into the country across the nation. We worked closely with the BHA, Dr. Jerry Hill, the CMO there, and it was really important to the BHA and Dr. Jerry that we could get racing back safely without taking vital PPE away from the front line. So, I mean, we've been working 20-hour days, 7 days a week in the lead up to getting racing back safely with the BHA. We've done back to racing packs, and that's since snowballed from race courses to trainers' yards to owners, and now owners' businesses as well, actually. So it's been a great learning process, and an honour basically to be working with such a great sport.
And one of the key questions at the beginning of this crisis was, where are we going to get the PPE from? Because we haven't got a ready supply in this country, and how are we going to be able to get it into the country in time to supply enough people to keep us all safe? How have you been able to do that? Because you've only added this as an adjunct to your business since the crisis began.
Absolutely. So, I've got multiple wrinkles now in relation to getting PPE into the country, but basically we have warehousing in Shenzhen, China, and Hong Kong. So with our import and export, especially on the high-end medical equipment side, we did already have contacts out in Asia. And we work with some of the most amazing logistics companies internationally. So for us, it definitely was tough, but it was really important to be making sure that we were getting this PPE into the country. There was a huge shortage. I mean, much bigger than anyone kind of realizes, and it needed to be applied quickly to the front line and other surrounding businesses and industries.
Felicity, I know you're a family business, and I know you're very customer focused. It won't be lost on you now that we want to welcome racegoers back to the sport. We want to welcome families back to the sport, and we want to keep them as safe as we possibly can. How can you help with our effort to do that?
So we're working really closely with the race courses as we speak. It's important that we follow the government guidelines, yet at the same time make sure that we're covering all angles, that we can, bend and weave and react at a short notice. I'm sure Adam from Goodwood will agree. The government guidelines change on a daily basis, if not hourly basis sometimes. So it's really important to us that we can get those spectators back safely with the correct PPE in place, so that they can enjoy the sport and get the sport properly back up and running again.
Now, this is very timely, Felicity, because you are sponsoring at Ayr Racecourse tomorrow.
I am, yes. It's a bit of a mouthful. CHB Medical Keeping Scotland Safe Race Day. But really for us, we expanded into Scotland a couple of years ago, and we've always supported the racing industry, whether it's the McCoy Awards or corporate hospitality, Christmas parties, etc. So it was really important for us to ensure that we were supporting Scotland's racing as well. So we're working closely with the independent racetrack in Ayr, and I'm really excited. It's a shame that we're not able to attend, but it's going to be great fun. And the more the industry reinvests in us, the more we invest in the industry.
And you're running a social media competition alongside our friends at Racing Welfare.
We are, yes, for the amazing stable staff. that basically make the industry possible. It's a social media campaign based on wearing masks and ensuring that we're getting the word out there, not just throughout the racing industry, but to other sporting industries, that PPE and sort of, masks and respecting your peers and the people around you is incredibly important. And what better way than to get the stable staff involved in racing welfare and give some money back.
Felicity, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck and fantastic work you're doing.
You're welcome. Thanks, Nick.
Felicity Griffiths, the Managing Director of CHB International, who are providing PPE to all the racecourses, and their role is going to get more and more important because we need to be wearing these, Chris.
I've got mine here. Tenner from the Injured Jockeys Fund. I think it's sold out.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Your Injured Jockeys Fund is very good, actually.
They'll be ordering more shortly, so
mine's a.
Check the website.
Do you like my Paisley edition?
It's as stylish as I would have expected from you.
And I think it's a sort of appropriate way, in essence, to sort of mark the end of this series, end of this season, because it really has been about how racing has been able to get through the COVID crisis and get itself back on its feet somehow.
How you cope with a crisis shows the depth of your character, I suppose, but it'd be really nice if we could forget about these things before the start of the next series. I suppose that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, fingers crossed that when we rejoin you back in the autumn, we will be less reliant, but for the moment, stay safe, wear these, keep the sport going, keep it alive. Thanks to everyone who's been responsible for this show since last September. We'll see you again in the autumn. Bye-bye.